try to do it all, play the right way, and just get lost in the game. I'll do everything I can to win. And guys, there's still not much he can't do with his combination of size and athleticism.
David, he clearly is a special talent, and his resume shows it. Thank you. And let's now take a look at some of the numbers for Kevin Durant.
And he's struggling with his shot these days, and the analytics bear that out with the true shooting percentage heading down in these past 10 games. But guys, it wouldn't surprise me if that was a trend that he could reverse here tonight.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. On-court spots filled by Durant and Griffin. Harris is out there with Harden, and it's Claxton in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Los Angeles, George in the front court, along with Leonard. Then it's Luke Kennard. Then it's Ibaka, and it's Preston in at point guard. And Greg, when it comes to load management, why do we see more of it now than when you play?
Well, for me, the science of sport has evolved, and it's not just the athlete, it's the technology and the science that goes into making a better athlete. That's why you're seeing load management far more acceptable to the masses now, understanding that this is about the long game.
And so it's the Nets getting on the board first. Leonard with the ball, picked up by Harris.
What a smooth-looking release from Kawhi Leonard, doing work in the mid-range. That is his comfort zone.
Here's Harden. He takes it in. And Harden with such a high usage rate, Doris, it's incredible how efficient he is.
Guys, his percentages are fantastic for someone who has to take so many difficult shots. He's not at the finishing end of alley-oops, let's remember. This guy is not allowed clear lanes to the bucket. He gets the best defender night by night. This guy has to work for every look he gets.
And now let's revisit that exceptional mobile one block.
And an early swat like that can really set the tone. Now the shooters will be feeling his presence.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. Here he goes. Goes back up. Claxton the pass to Harden. Outside for Durant. And the Nets decide to take their first timeout here.
Every timeout, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
And the guys get a little bit of a break. Mentally, physically, just recharge here quickly.
Pass to Harden. 4 on the clock. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka.
Active hands from him as he's able to deflect that pass out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call a game of inches. They talk about it in football. We see it right there.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Their last game, a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Well, on the road, you don't expect to look so comfortable on the offensive end, but that was the story of the game.
It came down to execution. No wasted possessions, and that is absolutely essential trying to win on the road.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
Here's Preston. Coming off a solid outing against Denver. Kennard's shot is off.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
It's Harden with the drive and the jam by Harden.
And this is how a floor leader makes a statement. Harden just put the other team on notice.
How about that mobile one block we just saw? Amazing defensive work.
And right out of the gate, trying to set the tone defensively, you gotta love that energy.
Basket good.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And it's Leonard missing. The Nets have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Throws it up high. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Preston. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. And it's Harden with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Clippers team.
And remember, they won both games in this matchup last year. No small feat.
These two teams could easily end up meeting to decide the NBA championship. Tonight could be a preview of something with more on the line down the road.
And once Harden has momentum behind him, watch out. They love seeing the beard flush it down there with some power.
Now Leonard. Another guy who really kicked it up a notch for them in that Nuggets game. Nets leading by 4. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart. This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Outside, George. Pass to Preston. Here's Leonard. 18 feet out. Second chance shot. They grabbed their own miss. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Ibaka. Batum comes in for Kawhi Leonard. Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Kennard.
And Harden is a nightmare in the pick and roll. Just a clever combo guard who is completely unpredictable.
Pass to Zubac. Outside, George. Here's Preston. Takes it inside. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Out to the right wing. George against Durant. And the layup's good off the glass. Durant's got his second basket of the game.
Well, he's so effective close to the rim because Kevin Durant has the size, he has the feel, and he knows he can score at will.
The 3 from George. It's hauled in by Claxton.
And, Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Clippers trail by 6. Outside, George. Harden against Bledsoe. Good D by Harden.
Boy, that's too easy to miss, but somehow he finds a way to do it.
And the jam by Harden.
And it doesn't take much to get Harden going. His confidence serves as a catalyst for him catching fire.
Bounce pass from Bledsoe. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And Brooklyn called for the foul.
When I think of Ivica Zubac, I think about solid big man who is still young and developing. It's really a matter of him gaining confidence at this point.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Eubanks is checked in. Nets leading by 7. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Harden and 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Maybe the best ever at earning free throws. I mean, Harden has mastered the art of contact and still being able to get off the shot.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And the first one drops. Brooklyn making some changes. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Nicholas Claxton. Johnson comes in for Blake Griffin. And Irving subbed in for Harris.
And getting to the line better than anyone in the league. James Harden led the league in free throw attempts during 7 of his 8 seasons with Houston.
It's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here. Irving against Bledsoe. Gets it off, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Nets lead by 9. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So for the Clippers right now, they've got Batum. Ivica Zubac is out there at Bledsoe. And it's Eubanks in at the power forward position.
And arguably no one in the NBA draws more attention than Harden. Part of why he creates so many opportunities for others.
Bledsoe passes to Zubac. Here's Preston. Outside for Batum. Clock at 6. Johnson with the block. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Paul George has taken some heat in recent years. He says people get so caught up in what other folks think. I'm Paul George. I don't care to be anybody else. I am who I am. You love it or you don't. Simple as that. Guys, with his play on the floor, he has answered all of his critics.
He is certainly playing at an elite level. EA, thank you. Bledsoe passes to Preston. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
And look at how well Aldridge utilizes his size, reaching out and just batting away the shot. Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here, fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And I credit the shot selection in that one. It's hard to stay patient, but you see the reward.
Well, typically, Greg, great decision-making leads to great shooting percentages. I thought that team played a very smart game.
Leonard dishes to Ibaka. Here's the floater. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Ibaka's got his second bucket of the game to go. Leonard with the steal. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Rebounded by the Nets.
Boy, he'll usually knock it down if he's left that wide open. Just comes up empty.
And that one's good, Irving.
But just a spectacular display of ball handling from Kyrie, opening up the look there. Many believe he might have the best handle in the game.
Kennard with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. And here's Kennard. His last outing with 20 points. Up top, Ibaka. And it's off the back rim, no good.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. I'll tell you, right now, these guys cannot be stopped.
Boy, it looks like their confidence is at an all-time high, just feeding off each other right now.
Ibaka finds Bledsoe. Kennard against Harden. Kennard, the pass to Eubanks. They get it back. There's the pass to Kennard. Drills it from outside. Kennard's got his second bucket of the night.
And that's just too much space to give a shooter like him. He works to get open, but the defenders have to work harder to nullify that.
Harden, the pass to Aldridge. Harden scanning the floor. Up and in on the layup. Harden's got 21.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Bledsoe against Irving. Great D that time from Irving. Brooklyn leading by 16. It's Harden with the drive. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard.
Boy, 9 times out of 10, that's going in. I'm sure he surprised himself with the miss.
And Doris, when you think of players that can turn it on for the playoffs, Kawhi Leonard certainly one of them.
I think Kawhi, because of his history as an NBA champion, understands how different the playoffs are. There's a different level of physicality, a different level of pressure, and you have to be able to rise and meet that moment, and boy, Kawhi has.
Now the dish to Ibaka. Kennard, the pass to Bledsoe. The three. Los Angeles with another miss.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one. Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Paul George comes in for Eric Bledsoe. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Nets.
Really some great drives to the basket here early on for these guys.
Yeah, we've seen them burying their fair share of mid-range jumpers tonight, too. A good first half for them in that department. Have to love the ball distribution. Keep everyone involved.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn.
And we all know what George brings offensively, but it's his ability as a defender that stands out. Great instincts to make plays on that end of the floor.
And the Clippers making a change here. Zubats is checked in. Harden scored the basket for his 10th make. 10 for 12. 83% accuracy.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Kennard, the pass to George. Offline with his three. Brooklyn with the ball. They're on a 16-7 run. Here's Harden. And that one is off. The Clippers go the other way with it. They'll be off to Boston for a meeting with the Celtics after this one. And that one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team. Durant against George. He kicks to Leonard. Over Irving. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
I'll tell you, you hate to pin this on one person, but his inefficiencies at the offensive end are holding this group back.
3-on-3. Batum dishes to Leonard. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Leonard's got his second basket.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16.
Thanks very much. Here with Coach Ty Lue. Coach, how do you get control of this game?
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you. James Harden led the way in the first half. He had 23 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. We were talking about him after his last game, and now tonight we're seeing that same level. And that should do it.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
No problem fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
Brooklyn leading by 16, setting the floor for the Nets. We've got Irving, Aldridge out there with James Johnson. Then it's Harden, and it's Durant in at the small forward. Again, the miss by Harden.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Preston passes to Ibaka. Cloak loose. Leonard with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. Kennard, the bounce pass. Outside for George. Clock is at 3. It's good from long range.
Now, Paul George is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot guy. Measures the shot before receiving the pass. It's hard to guard.
Here's Harden. Here's the drive. That one, no good. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Leonard, the pass to Preston. Top of the key, Ibaka. And a miss there on the triple.
Well, they are daring him to miss, and he obliges.
Here's Irving. Banked in off the glass. Irving's got his second basket of the night.
The handles, the burst, almost impossible to stay in front of Kyrie on the drive.
High post try. Count it. Good.
There's no quitting this guy. He just gives you great effort, and he continues to give you great production.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, mid-range jumpers are something of a lost art these days, but they're still practiced by superstars like Kawhi Leonard. Coach Ty Lue said, why not work on the shots that teams are giving up? Down the stretch, mid-range shots win games. Playoffs, too. If you shoot it at a high clip, it's just as good as a three for me. Guys?
And they do shoot it at a good clip, and they rely on it quite a bit. David, thank you.
Absolutely no mercy right now from Kevin Durant in transition. Those long strides, that's an easy bucket.
So it's the Clippers now. Down by 15. Outside, George. Goes up from the top of the key. Jump shot is good that time. George has got 5.
Outstanding pass on time and on target.
Here's Harden. Fires to the hoop. And Harden with the stuff.
And on the drive, Harden just so tricky to guard. No one wants to risk handing him a foul.
Leonard looking over the floor.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And Greg, you look at the power that Kawhi Leonard plays with. Incredibly strong for his position.
And Kevin, it helps him finish through contact on offense. And it also lets him guard bigger men. Kawhi makes great use of that strength on the wing.
Leonard on the wing. A rebound by the Nets. Johnson's got 4 rebounds in this game.
I know he's got to be frustrated right now, but the team is fighting from behind. He's got to stay with it.
And that one's good, Leonard.
Paul George will force you to stay balanced defensively, because if you have a miscue, he will find the open guy.
Here's Irving. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. He has 6.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
George passes to Kennard. Marcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Aldridge has got his 5th rebound in this one. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
And just very little chance of that pass finding the target from that distance.
And so it's Bledsoe with it, bringing it up for the Clippers. 17-point game. Floats one. Can't hit from in close. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Ivica Zubac has checked in for Serge Ibaka. And it's Batum in for Paul George. Nets leading by 17. Batum scanning the floor. Kennard's shot is off. For Brooklyn, they've gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. 1:43 left in the third. Here's Irving, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
That's his first.
One thing Irving's been doing more of, using his offhand in the lane to hit floaters, and even on jump shots.
This guy is so creative, so inventive. The ability to make last-second adjustments. And I mean that whether he's in the air off his feet or with his handle, his ability to keep defenders guessing is truly incredible.
From 10 feet out, The shot's good from Kennard. Kennard's got 8 points. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting the ball with incredible accuracy. 68% so far.
KD is a force of nature. Sensational dunk at the rim.
And an intentional foul right there.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
So for the Nets, Nicholas Claxton's checked in for Aldridge. Blake Griffin comes in for James Johnson. And Harris subbed in for Kyrie Irving. Had a hand on it, and they get it back. 6 on the shot clock. No good from Zubac.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
Here's Harden going inside, and Harden with the stuff.
And once he got up in the air, he just decided, you know what, I'm going to stay here for a while. I'm going to hit you with a little float. Float on. And then finally takes it down for the finish.
You mentioned the floaters on this. Absolutely. Good reference. Good reference. Now, here's Kennard. 8 points for him. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. It's hauled in by Claxton.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Durant.
That's miscommunication, and we rarely see that happen.
Here's Kennard. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on James Harden. The Clippers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
At the line from LA.
He's perfect from the line this time. Durant just inside the line. No good. And so it's Brooklyn taking a 19-point lead into the break. What a defensive effort they put on Kawhi Leonard. It's rare to see him have the kind of trouble he's had tonight. We'll reach. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And as we head into the 4th, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. So with George on the bench, here's who Tyronn Lue's going with. They got Ivica Zubac. Kennard is out there with Bledsoe. Then there's Batum, and it's Eubanks in at the 4 spot. Harden the pass to Griffin. Kicks it out to Harden. For 3, Harris. The shot will not fall. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Kennard against Harris. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul. Substitution for your Clippers. Paul George. Jason Preston.
Clippers moving the ball around. Shot clock at 6. Bledsoe against Harden. Blake Griffin pulls it in.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easy.
So for the Clippers, Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Zubac, and Kawhi Leonard comes in for Nicholas Batum. Into the lane. Here's Preston, and the Clippers miss again. Nets leading by 17. Durant attacking. He can't hit that time. And so George will bring it up for Los Angeles. Here in the 4th quarter, the defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets.
Well, the 3-point shooting of Paul George is an important attribute. Because he can put it on the deck, he's got to balance it with that kind of look right there.
Timeout called the Nets. And Doris, we know that Paul George has always been a solid passer, but his assist numbers have been creeping up.
Yeah, he's been willing of late to take on more playmaking responsibilities. The skill set was there. It's just early in his career, they needed him to be the lead scorer. Now you're talking about a guy you've got to game plan against as a scorer and as a passer.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
And during that last break, guys, I got a chance to hear Steve Nash talking to his team. His point to them was that they put themselves in a position to succeed and that this is their game to lose. So he needs to see full concentration out of every guy on the court to finish this one off. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Harden, and the jam by Harden.
Taking it all the way. Harden with the flush there.
Clippers trail by 18. Here's Preston. George, that's a two-pointer. Brooklyn with the rebound. Harden's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. And he drives in. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
That's his first personal
And a key
foul.
part, Doris, of Harden's game lately, his rebound.
Right, because his ability to rake and take, get out in transition, make great decisions on the fly, it puts so much pressure on the defense.
Leonard, the pass to Ibaka. Bledsoe with outside Leonard. We're seeing a lot of top high school players opting for the G League over college now, Craig. What's your advice to top young players on their path to the NBA?
And well, Kevin, I think you just answered it. It's their path. And I don't think the same path is right for everybody. There are going to be a lot of talented young men and women who want to go to college for the experience, you know, for the environment, for the networking, right? You're going to make some of the best friends you'll ever have on a college campus. Having said that, though, some kids aren't into college, aren't into school. They want to just go and pursue their passion and their craft, and that's why I think the G League and the developmental leagues that are out there are so good for these young players.
Ibaka against Harden. Out to KD. In the corner, it's Griffin. Pass to Harden. To the paint. Claxton, no good. Clippers trail by 20. Bledsoe passes to Leonard. Misses, and the dry spell continues. The Nets have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Harden up top. Guarded by Bledsoe. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
That's his first
Serge
personal
Ibaka
foul.
picks one up there.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Shooting for Brooklyn.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Nets.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
They've gotten out on the break over and over tonight as well. A lot of baskets coming in transition.
Kennard, he's checked in for Eric Bledsoe. George against Durant. Elbow shot is on the way. Nice spin off the left rim and in. George has got 10 points in just the second half.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Nets.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the board.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And so checking out their record tonight, it'll mark win number 32 overall.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off. I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was
for James Harden.
And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
George passes to Leonard. It's blocked, and he gets it back. And it's Harden with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. A 21-point lead, the biggest in the game.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Well, they knew it would be a hostile environment, and they rose to the challenge.
And sometimes when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
Passes to Claxton. The three from KD. Unable to get that one. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now let's go over to David Aldridge from the sideline for an interview with our player of the game. Hey, David.
Thanks very much, James. You were in a rhythm from the opening stage.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.